Hey cats, it's your midsole man, EDDBUD here. Today I'm back with a running shoe yay or nay. This is a series of videos where I let you know if I'm going to pick up specific new running shoe releases or not for review. It could be that some other shoe tuber might do them more justice, or it might be an absolute essential pickup for my shoe rotation. In today's video I'm checking out the on-running Cloudmonster Hyper, an interesting take on their max cushion model. We've also got a rule-breaking shoe from Puma here, the FastRB, a strange unannounced running shoe from Nike, the Journey Run, and I'm taking another look at another batch of these shoes, the Adidas ADIZERO Pro Evo 1. Let's get straight into it. Thanks for tuning in, people. Hit that subscribe button and also help the channel to continue to grow by giving this video a thumbs up like, but also dropping us a comment for the algorithm. Dankeschön. Straight into the yay or nay. Today we have a shoe from On. This is the Cloudmonster Hyper. We did see a Cloudmonster version 2 drop not all that long ago actually. I think they updated the upper there but stuck with the same kind of midsole and outsole configuration. Looked very similar to me at least. Again here we've got the speed board, we got the Cloud Tech cushioning, and I was a little bit surprised to see them just stick with the same tech. The Cloudmonster Hyper though seems to be the next logical step in the direction for this shoe. They've placed in some of that Piba-like Helion HF super foam into the mid to forefoot area of the shoe rather than just sticking with the Cloudtech pods there. Though I can foresee the same issues that I had with the Cloudmonster original with that tongue. It's just very, very thin and the length was just too short for me. The lace loops doing all the heavy lifting for the lockdown, and I was unable to use the jaw eyelets at the end of the chain for a runner's knot as they left the laces sort of just above where the tongue was and started digging into the top of my foot. I think the other elephant in the room here for this shoe is the £209 price tag here in the UK. That's a colossal price, and coupling that with some of the other issues that I have with the upper, I think it's a bit of a nay for me on this one. I mean, the midsole might be quite exceptional this time round, introducing some of that sort of softer, more sort of resilient rebound-like foam into the forefoot area, and I do like the fact that they have included those silicone beaded laces that we have. That really was a really great addition to the shoe, and it's still probably the best on shoe I've tried out. It's just too rich a price for me to go for this time, considering the issues I had in the previous version of the Cloudmonster. I really do like the Cloud Eclipse as well. That was a really nicely cushioned shoe on the top of the foot and underfoot too. I still believe that the Cloudtech phase is still the most interesting thing really going on with On right now. Going on with On. You know what I'm talking about. Do let me know if you've tried out the Cloudmonster Hyper. Is it really worth the hype? Shoe 2 is from Puma. This one's a real rule breaker. The Puma FastRB apparently stands for rule breaker here. Is a shoe that's caused a stir within the running community. This one is clearly intended to push the boundaries and really get people chatting about what stack is too high. There's a mass of that Nitro Elite foam here in the heel, and then a split plate setup within the forefoot area. It's almost like a pod configuration there, I guess. You've got two sort of Nitro Elite pods just behind the ball of the foot there. A little bit like the Alpha Fly, I suppose. There's a power plate present as per the Fastar Nitro Elite 2, though a further plate between the forefoot foam and the pods. When you sit the shoe down, you can see there it kind of balances there in the middle section, the heel not even touching the ground. Now, way back in April 2023, I actually got to look at this shoe in hand, put it on my foot. I have to say it's not actually quite so crazy on foot as it looks. Surprisingly stable, to be honest, though without any laces to tie in this shoe. I do think it's a bit of a concept model. Even for like training, you know, the lack of laces and the lockdown there, I can see that being a bit of a put off for some people. Yeah, it's a fun and innovative design. Certainly takes a lot of design nods from the Fastar Nitro Elite 2, but perhaps for some people it's just a step too far. The outsole rubber is exactly as per the Fastar Nitro Elite 2. The dual pull tabs as well, exactly the same. but the power tape makes up most of the structure here in the FastRB. Now, I found the Faststar Nitro Elite 2 to be a real step forward for Puma. Full stack there, 40mm and all Nitro Elite foam. It really was fantastic, and perhaps this design is a bit of a tester, I suppose, for something they're going to try out in the future. No idea about a price on this one yet, but it certainly seems to be coming this year. Whether it will be a really big, wide-ranging release, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this very striking design. I think for some of you perhaps it's just a step too far and it's more of a lifestyle type shoe. I'd love to try it out from a running perspective. I'm still sort of tempted to try and pick up the other one that they put out, the FastDroid, is it? But the lack of the laces here in the FastRB does tell me something. So it's kind of in the middle really. I want to try it just purely because it's just bonkers, isn't it? Let me know what you think about it down below. Okay, for shoe 3, we have a cheaper option for you. It's one that's appeared on Nike's website without any fanfare whatsoever. There are some quite cringe-worthy TikTok reviewers explaining how great these shoes are in 30 seconds because they look nice. The Nike Journey Run features something called Comfy Ride. Yeah, it's called Comfy Ride. Sounds like something Skechers might come up with, doesn't it? No word what this foam is, but by all accounts we have another middle-of-the-road offering from Nike. There's no weight listed, no stack height. What we do have here is some very thick laces that look like they're off of like a Nike SB Dunk model. Chunky skateboarding shoe laces. There's an outsole with some basic waffle-like lugs. And all round the shoe profile almost looks like the Vomero 16 really, but without all the additional foam and tech. I think it's just another heavier Nike daily offering, and we really don't need any more of those. The only one that they don't seem to change all that much is the Pegasus, and that's just because you don't mess with something when it works very well. There's some additional tongue padding here. Nothing really out of the ordinary. You really have to ask if Nike really needed to produce this shoe. I think they should reduce down their shoe lineup a little bit and like focus on specific models. Why are they just doing the same thing over and over again? Just more shoes to send out to the outlets. I went to the Bournemouth Nike outlet yesterday and it was absolutely pathetic. Almost nothing there at all, just middle of the road shoes that nobody wants. So I wouldn't recommend going there at all. You got the Infinity Run, haven't you? The Revolution, the Vomero, the Journey Run, the Free Run. You could probably get rid of all of those and just have one. Throwing mud at the wall once again, and since the pandemic, Nike daily shoes at least have been absolute stinkers. Aside from maybe the Invincible Run and their top tier models like the Alphafly and the Next Percent, but they haven't changed that much either, have they? Let's be honest. It's a nay for me on this one. Why anybody would buy this at 90 quid when they could spend another 20 quid and get the Pegasus is beyond me. It's a much better shoe, tried and tested formula. Okay, shoe 4, last one up today. I'm taking another look at the Adidas Pro Evo 1. Now, I've covered this shoe before on a yay or nay, and a lot of people said that, you know, it was a concept shoe, it was just a token release to, you know, fit within the rules that they have to release the shoe to the public, and it will only ever really be available to elite runners. Well, I knew it. The shoe's set for another batch. There's another release coming here in the UK on April the 25th, and this time the shoe's £450. Adidas, come on. It was 400 odd before, 450 now. You must be having a laugh, right? They've bumped it up even more, perhaps to ensure that, you know, the potential buyers that have their credit cards ready are really invested in it, you know, hyping it up. They haven't updated any stats on it. It's the same model as before, and they haven't even put the right stats up on the website either. One section reckons the shoe's an 11mm drop, 39mm stack in the heel and 28 in the forefoot. So they can't even get that right on there. The other info suggests it's a 39mm heel stack, 33 in the forefoot. For a 6mm drop, sounds a little bit more like it. 138 grams for a UK 8.5. Well, it's going to get towards 200 odd grams for me and my UK 11. So it's not all that far off the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris for me, which is an absolute banger. And you can pick up 2 pairs of those for the price of 1 pair of the Pro Evo 1 if you get lucky or whatever, if you call it luck. Sadly, all in all, just please don't bother, people. Don't be giving Adidas this amount of money for a shoe that you just probably don't really need. There's a load of better models out there that are much cheaper that will get more out of. Is this due to Adidas, you know, having to pull all that Yeezy stock off their websites and apps because it wasn't selling? It was just sat there and no one was picking it up for obvious reasons. That's a big money maker for Adidas. They were making billions out of the Yeezy line. And yet again, we got loads of Adidas middle of the road models sat in outlets and nobody's buying them. I wonder why. Charging this price for a piece of foam and some material and rubber, it's just plain crazy. Some people might suggest that it's to cover the costs of development and all this. A shoe's a shoe, you know. It was only, you know, a few hundred years ago they started making a left shoe and a right shoe that was slightly different, okay? I think at this point some training, good sleep, better nutrition is probably gonna get you faster rather than buying these. So it's a nay from me. I just think the price is scandalous, really. So that's all the shoes in today's yay or nay. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on all of these down in the comments. A quick musical interlude for you. I recently re-watched the Simon Pegg film, The World's End, and it got me thinking about, you know, these opportune moments in time, you know, the most fun days I remember. There's one that stands out in particular, and there's a piece of music that goes along with it as well. The track For the Girl by the Fratellis was blasting out of our vehicle as my good friend James and I were coming back from watching Yeovil beat Brentford away from home. I think at the time we were in League One and it was probably one of the greatest days ever. I remember the weather, I remember the feeling of, you know, inertia really, that we were so far up in the table at the time. The team were playing really well and it was like the best days really that we had, you know, as a Yeovil fan. Probably even better than actually getting to the Championship for a little bit. We didn't stay there long, only a season. But League One, you know, we were holding our own, playing some good football, and it was probably like the best that we'd ever had really in terms of a squad. And to go to Brentford and manage to beat them, you know, it was unbelievable really to be so high up in the table, holding our own against these other very big teams with much sort of bigger budgets than us, more supporters, you know, greater attendances, bigger stadiums. That piece of music will always be in my mind. Whenever I hear it, it creates this incredible excitement within my body. I'm back there again, you know, all those years ago. I think music and running and all that type of stuff keeps you fresh, keeps you young almost. It keeps your outlook, you know, positive, and you're looking forward to the future. Those things could happen again. Tonight for Yeovil, they need a point against Truro. They're playing Truro bizarrely in Gloucester somewhere. I think Truro's ground is just like permanently waterlogged, or maybe it's underwater, I don't know. All they need to point and they'll be champions. We'll be back up into the National League, so still, you know, a few leagues below where we were, but it's something. We're moving forward. Let's hope we get that point tonight and secure promotion as the champions. For the Girl by the Fratellis. That music will be blasting from the record player later on, hopefully. Thanks for tuning in, people. It is always appreciated. Help me to reach 1 million subscribers by clicking that button. It's free of charge, you know. Also, give this video a thumbs up, like, and comment below for the algorithm. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you